All right, we're back and it's still Crossfire with Dakwani Shoma. We have Dikpa Olayoku in the studio with us and we'll be discussing on national issues. Now, the president yesterday, President Moab, he made his position known in a statement he delivered at a Global Leaders Summit on countering ISIL and violent extremism organized by President Barack Obama on the sideline of the 70th United Nations General Assembly in New York. He said, while military action is never enough, it is, however, capable of stemming the tide and reversing the process of recruitment, movement, and effective operations of foreign terrorist fighters and their associated, radical elements. Yesterday, a place that the United States of America has, encroached on for more than 10 years was recaptured yesterday by Afghan, militants. And then we'll come back to that. Let's quickly take this call from Port Harcourt. Ify, good morning.
Good morning, Dakwani Shoma.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you. I just want to comment on our president becoming the Minister for Petroleum.
All right.
He's experienced. He's been in PTF. What was his track record? I guess that place was probed. And just like we know Nigeria, most times we don't get to hear about it. We want to know what his track record was. He was the Minister for Petroleum. What was his track record? 2.8 billion. We are yet to clear the air. We have a lot of experienced people in Nigeria. He can't be the only righteous man that can handle that place. We will beg him for his age and his experience, his track record, to hand over that ministry to somebody else. We have people in Nigeria that can run that ministry. Let him be the overall supervisor of Nigeria. The change we need is not for him to run those places. And if I may say, we are celebrating our 55th anniversary as a nation. Like I keep telling people, you can't use the resources of Houston to build New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nigeria needs to be restructured. All eyes on petroleum has crippled Nigeria. Our president should save this country. He should hand over petroleum, NNPC, to somebody credible. We have credible people in Nigeria. He can't run that place.
Thank you.
If he runs it, he will be like Obasanjo, who ran it, and we know what happened. Some of us still believe that maybe they should probe him like they're probing Saraki. So he has a history. We should not be deceived. He can't run the ministry. He should hand it over.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I mean, nice dimension to that. That has been my position, but I just want us to quickly run the story. But now, it is really very important we let you know this. We'll be touching and talking more on these issues tomorrow on Crossfire. Is an independence special, October 1st, 55th celebration of Nigerian independence. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. You have to just be a part of that show. Now, let's take this call from Yola. Obiora is calling from Yola. Obiora, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Very well.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm talking about the issue of petroleum minister holding by the Mr. President. If you remember when Mr. Obasanjo is the president, he's the one that holding that ministry at the same time. And at the end, nobody to ask questions on how his office go. And if now today our president did not see anybody worthy to give Minister of Petroleum, it means that our president did not trust anybody, and it is unfair. So we prefer seeing somebody that is holding the ministry and being accountable to Mr. President. If there is any question, Nigeria will ask direct to that minister, not to Mr. President. And maybe it's Mr. President, nobody will have right to ask him questions, and nobody will have right to take him to court because of the immunity. So we prefer seeing a petroleum minister and not the president. Let the president remain the chief executive and general overseer of Nigerian economy. And again, Nigeria is 65. How far? If they will come back today, they will tell you that they are disappointed in Nigeria today. Because what they are planning for this country is not what we are seeing. We are seeing a country that will have selfish leaders. We see a country that will see leaders that they don't want poor people to grow, rather they want the poor people to be getting poorer. Now, if you are a common man in the street, the tax you are paying because of your small-scale company is 100. Why the big man, the rich man in the government, is not paying any tax or is paying just few? So it means that Nigeria today is not yet where we want it to be. So we pray that the next year or the next 5 years or next 15 years will be much, much better than the one we see today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Obiora. Thank you really very much. Now, let's quickly touch, we may need to just move on here so that we can have enough time to discuss on the issue today. Party internal crisis. This is something that we have been witnessing since last year, 2014, especially, we were speeding up to the elections in 2015. The electioneering process, we heard a lot of hate speeches. We had, character assassination. We had religious empty promises. We had religious sentiments, political, jingoism. Let me borrow word, from Patrick, Bagman, and all of that. So, and now today, this is contributing to the state of instability, in our nation. But unfortunately, we have another party in APC who rode on the change mantra, and yet we still have an overheated polity. Let me put it that way. And so I'm beginning to wonder: do you think APC actually prepared for governance? Because their internal crisis seems to be rippling, the nation apart from almost every quarter.
No, but that's the opinion. You think it's rippling the country apart?
I think so.
It's a deeper thing.
Yeah, that's why I need him to either agree with me or otherwise. That's why I'm asking.
I think the problem we have is that Nigerian politicians across board don't know when
to draw the line.
The draw between politics and governance. Like the Americans will say, politics separate us, but economy unite us. Mm-hmm. But in Nigeria, politics
is do or die.
Is everything. Mm. Because the place is very lucrative. That is the problem we have with Nigerian democracy. The place is very lucrative. But you see, I was taken aback when you said the crisis that is rocking APC now, vis-a-vis what is happening in the National Assembly, especially the Senate, is because they are not ready for governance. I don't think that's the problem.
I think that's the problem, really.
In 2007,
yes,
when President Obasanjo left office and later Adua took over, between 1999 and 2007, PDP had ruled this country for 8 years. Mm-hmm. And we used to say the party that has ruled Nigeria for 8 years doesn't have the experience or to prepare for governance. That's why at times when things happen in Nigeria and Nigerians behave as if this is new, I want to remind Nigerians whether they were in Nigeria in 2007 during the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, Olubunmi Ete, what we were watching from the House of Representatives. It was in one of those sessions over this, you must leave office, you must leave your seat, that a medical doctor from Kano State, a member of House, slumped and died in that house. PDP had ruled for 8 years. Are you saying they didn't have experience with governance? So what is politics? Politics is struggle for power. But unfortunately in Nigeria, you struggle to get the power to better the loss of the people. But because people struggle for power to better their own lot, that is why you see what you call do or die. What is happening in the Senate today is not strange to Nigeria. That's why I gave you the example of Olubunmi Ete.
But don't you think
let's quickly take this call, Ishoma. Hello, good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Engineer Dapo. Good morning, Barrister Ishoma.
Good morning, Alex.
And to the veteran journalist, Iko, good morning.
Alex, how are you?
I'm great. How are you in Lagos?
Very well.
Yes, Nigeria at 55 by tomorrow. Ostensibly, a journey of 1,000 miles will start with a step.
Yes.
I know the likes of Dikpo who want to say, look, Nigeria has not achieved anything. But I want to believe that Nigeria creation in 1960 is not the same Nigeria we have today. We have taken steps. So in other words, we are yet to strike the Eldorado. US, China, name them, Germany, UK, France, they are not there yet. So we are queuing. We are the head in Africa. Thank God for that. And therefore, party crisis. So long as we have politicians who want to control the polity, I don't want to name some. So long as we have politicians who want to place their stooges, their candidates in place, so much will have crisis in the politics tearing out at the face. For instance, the crisis that rocked the National Assembly over choice of who is going to be a principal leader was orchestrated behind the scene by Godfather. But thank God, those people who are so planted by the Godfather, they are yearning to go. Example given, the open quarrel between Jonathan or Obasanjo then, when Obasanjo was flying later. This is an issue of maybe you give me a goat, allow me to go with the rope. So principally, one of the crisis rocking parties today is the issue of Godfatherism. I want to dictate what is happening in the party. I want to dictate what is happening in the National Assembly. I want to see the candidate for minister. These are issues. So it is not without reason why Buhari has not been able to give us ministers today. There are underground political fingering and calculations going on today. So party crisis is a reality. And then for United Nations 70s, he created a forum for very long speeches, what Hausa will call Dokotorashi. You see, beyond these speeches, with world leaders have the power, for instance, to tackle issues of immediate concern like the insurrection, the activities of, armed bandits going on, rocking the whole world today. It may not go beyond speeches, very beautiful speeches, laced with a lot of rhetorics and orations here and there. But I want to enjoy them, to have the necessary political will to carry out all those speeches they are right now making in the U.S. Thank God that Buhari will be back to Nigeria today. And thank God Buhari is a low range that we don't have to rely on external power to help us tackle Boko Haram, for instance, because at least we are leader in our rights to Dakpo.
All right, so, Alex, can I ask you a quick question?
Have a happy and fruitful deliberation.
All right then, Alex, let me let you go.
Alex, I'm going to charge you to before CCT because you made a false declaration that people like Deepa will say Nigeria has not made any moves since 1960. That was just in the lighter mood. You see, the problem that we are having in this country, I think Nigerians are the problems we have in this country. When I say Nigeria, I mean the followers. Because when these people begin to fight their fight, we get involved unnecessarily.
Now the truth is that tomorrow we'll be talking, on the independent special. On the independent special, we'll be talking about leadership. A lot of people are feeling that leadership is the problem in Nigeria, while some people believe that it's followers.
No, we are the problem. The followers,
the followers are
the problem. Because when these people are fighting, and when Nigerians, I mean the masses, should cash in that situation and take Nigeria back from them, we get ourselves involved in their crisis, pitching our tent with them.
But at the end of the day,
they will resolve their crisis among themselves, and we will be here. They will still be there. You see, I remember when Atiku and Obasanjo were fighting. Some of us were clamoring. Let us seize the opportunity to get Nigeria from them. Instead, we were pitching our tent with them. By the time Atiku went to Abeokuta to go and prostrate before Obasanjo, he didn't take me there. He didn't tell you. So that is the problem. They are fighting now. Nigerians are saying it's because of Godfather. What concerns us? What's the meaning of politics? Politics is a struggle for power. So if Saraki used politics to get to Senate presidency and the executive is using politics to remove him, it is their problem. It doesn't concern me. My problem is
Nigeria must work.
Nigeria must work. Nigerians thought we were fighting for change, that things would be different. But unfortunately, we didn't focus our attention on the Senate or the National Assembly as a whole. What is the antecedent of the Senate and National Assembly since 1999? Tell me. Instead of fighting, how did we start in 1999? There was one Evans who became the Senate president. Over whether he's Evan or Evans, they fought for 6 months. Eventually, he was removed. Then we have Salisu Buhari over the Toronto issue.
Yes.
People were fighting. No, he must go. He must not leave. At the end of the day, he left the office. But they still knew how to manage their own crisis. I was making reference to the Ete saga. For the whole of about 4 or 5 months, Nigeria was on standstill because they wanted to remove their speaker, Olubumete, until a medical doctor from Kano State slumped and died on the floor of the House of Representatives because they wanted to remove their speaker. What are we fighting over? Now, eventually, Olubumete was removed by the so-called integrity group. Who was heading integrity group? Farouk Lawan. And you know the $720,000 or $10 issue.
Yes.
Nigerians need to wake up.
Okay, so based on what you're saying now, because you're citing precedents now, which has shown that the fight and the struggle put Nigeria on a standstill. So what do you think should be the resultant effect? Now, what should Nigerians do now?
What Nigerians should do now is that we should not take any pitch anytime with any of them. I was listening to Alex.
So how do we take our country back? How do we take Nigeria back from them?
Let me give you an example. In 2015, during the elections, Nigerians thought they were taking their country back.
Yes.
That's why the election that produced Muhammad Buhari, I always want to tell APC if they are listening, they were not instrumental to the success of Buhari in that election. Nigerians fought for him. Professionals, bankers, lawyers, engineers were moving from house to house. That this is the person we want. But unfortunately for Nigerians, they did not focus on National Assembly members. That was the mistake Nigerians made. We thought that the moment we get Buhari there, at least
everything is going to follow
So
suit.
now is that at least they are taking care of the executive. I know in the next elections, Nigeria will be more
involved
on the National Assembly.
Select our legislators.
Let me tell you one thing. Unless we want to deceive ourselves, these guys, we have them in National Assembly, cannot take Nigeria anywhere because they have been there. They are not new. Many of them were in PDP in the last dispensation. But because they had crises, all of them moved to APC.
In power,
to let you know how wicked and selfish these guys are. There's a provision in the Constitution that says if you go to any party, you must have spent some years there before you can get their ticket. Overnight, these guys work on the Constitution, change the Constitution to say that the moment you go to a party, you can pick their ticket because of themselves. These people don't have your interest in mind. Forget about Saraki, them. They are not for us. It doesn't concern us.
All right, that's a very strong one there. But I mean, we will still have to discuss more on this before we go on the show. Party crisis, internal crisis in political party, and how it contributes to national stability. That's what we've been looking at vis-a-vis the position of APC, especially as it borders around the Senate, the National Assembly, both the upper and the lower chamber. We'll be on a break now. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll still be talking about this. Let's stay tuned. All right, we are back, and it's still Crossfire with Dakwani Shoma, and we've been talking about party internal crisis and how it contributes to either national stability or instability. The Nigerian polity has been heated up. In fact, I keep saying it's overheated based on some party politics and internal rubbles and crisis and personal interest, godfatherism, and all of that. Now, unfortunately, okay, let's take these calls and then we go into our discussion. Bakari, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Bakari. Good to have you on Crossfire.
Okay, good morning. Please, to share my thoughts with you.
All right, please go ahead.
On the statement that was made by the President, Muhammad Buhari, on the war against terror.
All right.
That the war is not a war that can only be won with only military might. Despite the fact that we cannot rule out military might because at times there can never be peace without war.
Yeah.
That being said, you have to also understand that the greatest battlefield is the mind. So war of heart and mind also need to be fought. People that have already been radicalized need to be de-radicalized. And we have to make sure that people that have never been radicalized get radicalized. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
And again, there are certain conditions in this country, that make it very easy for people to be brainwashed into fighting as a terrorist. One of the factors is that there's no equal opportunity for decent standard of living. If there's no equal access to prosperity of the land, if people believe that they don't have stake in being a Nigerian game, just like if you think you have to stake in a particular system, you'll be prepared to destroy that system. But when you know that you have stake, you will benefit from whatever the prosperity that is coming from Nigeria. Nobody will actually have the mind to destroy Nigeria. So we need to be sure that government do whatever it is to try to eradicate poverty in Nigeria and to make equal access to opportunity for people in this country.
so that the war will
Thank you so very much, Bakari.
Thank you so
Very
much.
insightful contribution.
Can I ask a
very
question
insightful.
based on what Bakari just said?
Yeah.
I hope I'm not deviating, please. Now, the issue of war against indiscipline, I know it's key. War against indiscipline as regards Nigerians, so that we do not have a reoccurrence of such, indoctrinization tomorrow. Do you think, Mr. President, can carry on with this?
Let's take this call before your contribution. Good morning, Syria.
Yeah, good morning,
Good morning.
Dr. Thank you for wonderful job you folks are doing.
Thank you,
you.
sir.
It's great being with you this morning.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're
Now,
welcome.
a question was asked, how do we get our country back? My simple answer is when, as a people, we choose not to become apologists for people in public offices, we would have taken the first step towards getting our country back. What I see, likely, it may also be wrong with me, is we pitch our tent somewhere and we don't see anything wrong. And that can never help us. It can never help us. We then just take a viewpoint and as members of the public, we just run with it. Whatever is wrong with the person we are supporting, we are willing to close our eyes to it, and we just go on. This will not help us. If we indeed desire to get our country back, we must change this attitude. I'll give you an example. Today, we are talking about Saraki in the Senate. And what is happening, people are going back to when this man first got into national governance, 2003. Are we willing to extend the same standard to the president, for instance? To look at 2.8 billion, when you mention that, they will tell you, oh, it's gone. But today we'll be talking about how experienced he is in the petroleum ministry. But we also know that 2.8 billion is there. And because of that, when he came to power, he promulgated Decree 4 so that nobody will talk about it. Now, so you see, we have these incongruities. If we want to, we need to set standards that are fair to everybody, that we are willing to operate by. There are so many who are going about in our country who are talking about change. Are we willing to go back and look at them? But then here now we are talking about internal partisan politics. Saraki is there on the hot seat, and everybody is talking corruption. And meanwhile, he has not yet been judged guilty by any competent court of jurisdiction. So I'll repeat: what we need is to stop blind support.
Okay.
Blind support. The man I'm supporting, I should be convinced that he is not an angel.
Exactly.
There could be something wrong with him. And I should be willing to tell him that what you're doing is wrong.
All right,
what you're doing is not right. We have not come to that point. And until we come to that point, we can never reclaim our country.
Our country back.
Thank you so
very much. Tomorrow we expect you to call on the show and be a part of the Independence Special. And that will be addressing a lot of issues about Nigeria nation. We'll be talking about Nigeria is 55. Where is our nation? Even though Nigeria is 55, but the nation has completely took a walk.
It's still in transit.
Is in transit. Yeah. The nation has not evolved. And then, we'll still be talking about getting our country back as we touch on leadership, the economy, politics and policy, and so many other interesting topics. And we have veterans who are coming on the show to help throw more light on that. Now, let me ask you this question. It was a question that has been in my mind. We don't have enough time to really talk about it. Do you think the president of the Senate will survive this fight?
What they are doing is a marathon.
Oh, I see.
It's a marathon. So whoever has the long breath can last the distance. But there's one thing I want you to know in Nigeria. Go and read the Constitution of Nigeria very well. The Nigerian president is the most powerful president in the world.
The Nigerian president
is the most powerful president in the world. In terms of internal politics. Go and read it. Every power rests on his desk. So if Saraki
could that be the reason why Nigeria is at 11?
Saraki
So if the president wants him to stay,
He will stay.
definitely will stay.
if
If he wants him to go, he's a gunner.
if a long distance runner,
Wow.
because it will get to a stage that the people that owns Nigeria will feel threatened, and they will say,
Now the issue is, who
Step
are
aside.
these people who
Or
own
leave
they
Nigeria?
are the one that
I mean, are they the cabal?
They
They
are
will say
the one
step
that
aside,
mold
or
the
they will say
opinion of
leave him alone.
Nigerians. If a market woman tells you Saraki is bad, it is because the molders of opinion have presented Saraki before them, because they have never had contact with Saraki.
Yeah.
So the owners of Nigeria know how to manipulate the people of Nigeria.
Okay.
We hope
All
we can
right.
unravel those
Yeah,
faces
we
behind
wish
them.
that we could just go on and talk more on so many other issues we have penned down. But due to time, we have to go now. But tomorrow, don't forget, it is 9 to 11 a.m. It's our Independence special. You don't want to miss that. We are bringing a lot of veterans who are coming to talk on various topics to you, and we want you to be a part of our show. Nigeria will be 55 tomorrow, and we'll be celebrating our 55th independence. And is it worth celebrating? You'll be seeing a lot of responses, even from the road and from Nigerians generally. This is how far we'll go on the show today. Join us tomorrow morning for the Independence special. Be blessed.
And stay not to violence. God bless you.
So, did you like what you just saw? I know you did. It's very simple. If you want to see more, just subscribe to our channel right now.